to our Baachu Scribble AI powered beta tools and Ask Me Anything session. This is our first session. Thank you for joining, especially last week when we introduced the AI as an introductory session. There was a lot of interest. Close to over 470 people have watched the recording and over 100 joined lives. If you have joined it, let me know that you have attended the session one. That's a good start. Anyway, I will also recap some of the principles from session one if you have missed it. So please do introduce yourself, where you're from, and also say that whether you have attended the previous session as well. So that will be a good seeding in. And for everybody who's going to catch up with the recording, welcome as well. So that's it from me. And let's begin where we are. So I'll share the screen and we'll go from there. Obviously, full screen versus the sharing the one. Okay, let me have a quick look. So welcome. And yeah, most of them have attended the previous session. That's great. So where are we? This is what we covered last week, and we are just going to build up from there. And the most important thing is we just want to take you away from these discussions. It's happened, it's happening, and it's happening fast. That's the message, right? Whether we are going to take it up in 1 month, 1 week, 1 year, totally up to us. But I just want to accelerate the adoption with you, right? And in a most safe environment. That's where we are, the whole purpose of this session. So thank you all for joining. So where we ended up is this one. There are lost bidders on the beach, and we discussed how it's scary. It's quick. I will touch in. When we start to put content writing AI, just this week alone, we already have a database of close to 42 content writing tools now. So people might be familiar with just 2 or 3, but when we explored 42, and this week alone, we found 11 new, and there are a lot more coming up on a weekly basis. .ai is going to be the super popular domain name ever. So at the same time, we are busy. We don't have time to explore everything. We are exploring, and we'll share some of those things, and also we'll share some of the bottlenecks or anything that we feel. So if you are trying, that's a good thing as well. So what has also happened within the past, there are 2 different avatars. They are popping up as well. The lost bidders are not just users. The lost bidders also includes traditional experts. So suddenly over the past week, and also in the coming weeks, you're going to see many of the traditional experts are going to have their views on AI versus technology, AI versus human plagiarism, and this won't replace, that won't replace, etc. End of the day, it's there. Human content is irrelevant anymore. It's AI optimized content. Accept the fact. But whether it's going to be 10%, 20% optimized, 50% optimized, 70% optimized, it's totally up to the end user. The debate is over. So tech enthusiast versus traditionalist, the debate is over, but there will be few people who are trying to share their thoughts. I'll just be wary of them, right? That's the most important thing, because you use it to know yourself. That's one. So as you always attend this webinar, thank you. You're in the survive mode, but I just want to elevate you to the accelerator mode. So we have Mind Journey here. How many of you actually tried Mind Journey? Mid-Journey, sorry. Have anybody tried? Did you? So, right. Thank you, Christine. Thanks for your kind words. Put in PPT mode. I will do now. Okay, it's coming up. Let me go in. This is where we are. I think you can see the PPT mode now, I assume. So, right. So, primarily, Mid-Journey went for maintenance last week. Yes, 100%. It's back now because you see this number, right? This is exactly from the last slide. When I logged in today, this number actually moved up to nearing 2 million now. So it's happening, and it's quite exciting, and it's important for you to use it. So at the end of the session, now I will touch it, because if I move into tools versus the slides, it's going to take a long time. But I'll touch Mid-Journey, how I did other things. But it's super important for you to experiment the free tools, right? Yes, it might take 30 minutes, 1 hour for you to know how you're going to optimize it, how you're going to use it. But believe me, it's super exciting, super exciting. So Mid-Journey, if you haven't used it, I strongly recommend use it. If you have, kudos to you. But again, if you create an avatar, which is your own version of who you are, and send it, tag me, we'll invite you. to how we can. Yes, took research to find out how to improve prompt images. Brilliant. Again, prompts is one. I have a good news for you, which I'll share in the coming week. At the end of it, prompts is going to be the topic. Prompts is going to be the topic. So ChatGPT, I'm sure by now, anybody still hasn't used it. Anybody still hasn't used it. Don't worry, this is a safe environment. If you haven't, I know you're busy. But if you have used it, it should be integral. It should be integral part of your life by now, right? Anything. It's your virtual friend, is your trusted friend, whatever people might say. There are so many unproductive, mundane tasks that we do, and this is a blessing, especially if you're working from home. This is just something. Again, Michael, I strongly suggest you do it. It's amazing. So it's there, and we'll also have a look. And primarily, when I introduced AI-powered bidder, and I used the scripts from ChatGPT, and I added in there. But OpenAI is here to stay, big time. From last week to this week, things have changed from the Microsoft side. So I'll be starting with the poll now. But before I even begin that, let me reassure, it's not a blank template. It's not a blank template for us to go and ask something. It's like a little, like a youngster in your family. You need to feed it. So you always have to remember to tell your intention. Hey, I am planning to write an email to my boss. I need to do a presentation. The presentation is about these particular topics. These are some of the bullet points. Feed the relevant information. Then can you write a little bit more? Can you add some structure? What do you think I should position in the intro slides and the conclusion? What do you think you should suggest? And can you create a generate summary, like a synopsis for me to do this? Or can you wrap this up in an email because I need to send it out to my CEO? Ask it. It will automatically do a thing. It could be for anybody used it for email messages so far. Anybody using ChatGPT for emails? If you haven't used it, copy paste the email that you have received, save, respond, and add some intention. This is the situation. Respond to Christina, respond to Kirsten, respond to Michael. It's unbelievable. Believe me, it writes better than what I used to write. Yes, 100%. Used to create job descriptions, used to create this, and please to use it. I have close to like 30,000. I can open and show you my inbox, 30,000 emails, and I normally read my emails once or twice a day. And mostly I catch up on my emails on a Saturday. When I catch up any flagged emails, I do it first. And for any flagged emails, this is how. I flag the email, add the content, remember it reads up to 2,000 words. If you haven't watched the previous episode, and you can please do use it if you're using for email. Anybody using it for capturing meeting notes and meeting minutes, etc., like as we discussed last time? Are we upgrading it? Or what are the uses that you're currently using it for? Anything else, please do add it in the chat box, because this is not just a training, this is the AMA session. So the more, the better. Anybody using it for baseline research or baseline just to get to know about something? Yes, the data point stops at September 2021. I can tell you OpenAI has no intention to update their database from 2021 to say January 2023. No, their intention is this is still a beta product. They still wanted to learn as many things. They just want people to be familiar with these things. So remember, that's the one. Yes, rewriting biographies, restating case study paragraphs, it's unbelievable. Use it for everything. Use it for everything. So, and primarily, and again, if you're worried about, hey, should I have to make it anonymous and stuff? Imagine, I think somebody told me that every day, I think the numbers is increasing. Close to 75 million pages of Word documents are actually being added up into ChatGPT every day. This was like, early February. And imagine now it could be like 150 million or something. These are the amount of content being added every day. So your information is like a minuscule compared to what's the overall. It's like a drop in the ocean, as they call it. So I just want you to get used to it, because this is how it's going to be. 100% writer's block. It's a blessing for me. Suddenly my English looks amazing. It's because thanks to ChatGPT, especially if people who are not from the English is not your first language, there is always an issue. Have I written it right? I remember after writing it, my editor or anybody within my team always repeat apart and say, this is not how you write it. Today, I have a lot more confidence in me, in my ability on written communication. It's because of this. So We use it for podcast scripting. We use it for articles. We also have specialist other tools, which I touched last week, but this is it. Always remember, context first. Context first. Share the context, content next. Right? No. So what that means is we are learning. We are learning in the language. This is prompts, right? So we have to learn how to share our intention to GPT, and we learn from that. So a question popped up. Oh my God, what happens if I use the first draft, the baseline draft that I get from ChatGPT, and if I add it into a tender format, is it not considered plagiarism because I didn't use anything? Let me stamp it immediately. The argument whether the content is written by AI or humans is totally useless. End of the day, I'm sorry to say this, I know people will be debating this. You know what, yes, there is a human intervention. It's optimized by AI, but I strongly suggest use it. Get your prompts, get your first draft, feed it more, refine it, put your evaluation criteria, feed it more, refine it, and get to a point where it can also evaluate. Hey, now what do you think it will, how much do you think it will score? 3.5 out of 5. What do you think I should add by 5? This could be. Then you feed a little bit more, then you improve it, right? The more you learn how to utilize a tool, the more it comes through. Plagiarism, I think if you take the previous submission and then if you use it in here, it's still the same. Again, you know what, that word will not exist. Today, there are tools that will say, we are going to find whether this content is AI written or not. So what? End of the day, if the end user gets the message, if the end user understood what you're trying to say, if the end user realized, okay, this is a compelling solution, compelling message, I like this email, I got it, and him or her is responding to you, him or her is giving you scores for it, what's the problem with it? But as I told you, the traditionalist will keep banging on this, trying to make it a big fuss about it. But if the human content is not relevant anymore, it's AI optimized content, that's where we're moving in. The adoption depends on the individual. Similarly, this thought process of plagiarism, etc., will fall in place. But as far as I'm concerned, again, this is my opinion, I wouldn't spend so much time thinking about it. End of the day, use it your own way, get the point across. Does it make sense to you? Just go for it, right? And don't be bogged down with this. This is one thing, because it's there to support human creativity, and it helps you to craft ideas, not to replace them, right? Anything. Sometimes I do feed some facts and ask it for opinion. What do you think? Do you think this is right? And it objectively evaluates. It objectively tells me, as far as based on the information you shared, this is what I think it is. Maybe you could improve this, right? It's there for you. So don't be falling on the trap of plagiarism, because we are not there to decide what's right, what's wrong. End of the day, let the end user decide your content is valid. So I just want to open it up for a poll, because we have some interesting things that's happening now, and I just want to get a feel for it. So there are 4 questions on this. The poll is launched now. The very first question is, do you use Microsoft 365 or Microsoft products day to day? That's your question number 1. Question number 2 is, how many hours roughly, look into your calendar and decide, how many hours do you roughly spend in meetings? This is not just bid-related meetings or proposal-related meetings, any meetings. Just question number 2. Yes, Microsoft Teams is now integrated with ChatGPT. It actually went live mid-February, and it's now open for public. Will also means, do you believe, the question is, do you believe, oh my God, some school of thought, the traditionalists are telling, oh, it's cybersecurity, oh, there is a problem with the intellectual property, confidentiality, etc. I just want to pick your brains on, if you trust Microsoft Teams to have your calls, just because it's integrated with ChatGPT, do you believe Microsoft will flip over suddenly and say all its IP, confidentiality, cybersecurity will go away, considering they have already integrated with this? I just want to pick your brains on this. And honestly, yes, no, not sure. Final one, this is interesting one. The traditionalist now telling, you know what, we haven't even used Microsoft Word or presentation or Excel or SharePoint or OneNote or anything properly, or Microsoft Teams or Outlook properly. Why are we need to adopt this AI? Do we need to do that? So all these questions are there for you. Please do take your time. And I just want to pick your brains on that, because it's very, very important, because the world for us will be dictated. Unfortunately, it will be dictated to us, and we should be in a position to just get on with it, unfortunately. So privacy and other things, it's always been questioned for the past few years, but It's there. Let's not debate for something that's not in our control. So please do take time and add the answers. So let's see. Let's have a go. Is everybody done? Yes, we have a small group and it's done. So let me have a look at any questions, any chats, any comments, please do add it. We use Google Workspace, which is brilliant. That's perfectly fine. Yes. So, but again, Google will be competing, and that's the reason. The reason is AI, written tools, verify. It's all because of the monopoly Google has in the word SEO, so Google has in the word search engines, their own way of searches and stuff. That's the thing that's bottleneck that's happening. But otherwise, this is going to be standard flow. So let's have a look at the results end poll. So I'm going to share the results, but before I share, let me announce. So most of them are using Microsoft tools, which is good. And what's the average number of hours? Again, with the thing that we have, my God, only some are spending less than 5 hours. Some are doing 5 to 10 hours. Others are doing 20 hours, 15 to 20 hours. And we have 1 or 2 who's doing more than 20 hours. If there is one thing we want to fix it, part of our bootcamp is this particular one. If we can slaughter at least 25 to 30%, which is, again, I'm not saying, we slaughtered close to 50, 70% of it, depending on different individuals. But if we can slaughter at least 20% of this time, what will you do with this time is what I'm very, very fascinated about. Again, the question here is, do we really know Microsoft is going to be facing intellectual property issues? At this stage, we don't know, but we just need to trust them. If you already use Microsoft Teams and if you believe they're not overhearing, it's not recorded, it's not doing that, you just have to assume they have the same sort of protocols on this. Finally, do we need to unblock full potential of Microsoft 365 first, before all the tools first, before we do it? Again, it's an interesting split. Let me share the results, digest the results, because that's more important, because that's how the content is going to go. These are, the traditionalists who are not going to do that will delay everything. All I'm saying that is, guys, let's take a step forward. Let's not be overly like 100% AI. All I'm saying that is, it's not 0% human. Whether it's 100% AI, it depends on different people, different industry. It's never going to be 100%, but it's going to be 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%, tools for different tasks, for different things. That's all we are going to debate. And that's where I just want to focus. That's where I want you to focus as well. So get the results and we are going to discuss about it. So my personal opinion today, this is what Microsoft Teams says. Microsoft Teams, if you have, we are going to touch that. They say it's private channels, group chats, it's all restricted, encrypted, and they also have anti-malware shields. My gut feeling is, if Microsoft considering it's been used in government, it's been used in schools, universities, in all the areas, commercials, etc. For them, just to integrate ChatGPT and mess up with everything else, do you think they might not be considering it? 100% they'll be considering it, but they will be doing that in phases. That's why we have got the Microsoft 365 Premium Teams now. It's absolutely fascinating, because last time when I showed you, things were different, which I'll touch as well. So my personal opinion, they have a reputation, and I'm 100% sure they are not going to be. But again, there are different adopters. People adopted in different age, but I just want to wait for you. So this is Microsoft Teams. So last month, in the last webinar, this is what we have been doing ourselves. Here we go. We have a protocol. In the protocol, we have what we call a meeting template. We call it positive focus, because we start the meeting with a positive focus. Oh, here we go. What are the 3 things that worked well this week in any meeting? And that's how we start. Okay, what can we do to improve that 3 things further? What's the first thing that we need to do on that? And that becomes the agenda for next week. And we just keep it moving. That's our meeting template. Meeting protocol, 15 to 20 minutes normally, and we are very, very objective in the meeting. Then we get the information, the TXT file, upload it, then we prompt. There are specific codes that we use in ChatGPT, and it extracts the meeting minutes, and it also extracts to who, and it also extracts the action point. This is what we discussed last time. Today, Microsoft has already automated this entire thing in its team. So if we have premium, which is just $7, believe me, $7. If you spend 20 hours, believe me, some of you are spending 15 hours, 20 hours on this Microsoft Teams, then you know what? We have to go and watch the recording, and we just need to do what it takes, right? And this is the beautiful part of it. This is a compelling event. I always believe some people have self-motivation, some people require a compelling event. This AI, especially, it's there for some time, but people call it different names. But now every tool is trying to become AI, even though they are not AI. And what ChatGPT has done is it's a compelling event for us to review our own work pattern, review our own attitude, review our own behavior, our approach, our process, our frameworks, etc. So one of these things is this. Right, we'll be diving deeper on this in our bootcamp. But for now, all I'm trying to say here is between now and the next AMA, which is going to be April 13th, I think, I would strongly suggest you do this just for your teams. Try to create a structure. Here we go. Call for a simple meeting. This meeting is for this one. This big meeting is to discuss this. And this is this is the action. Try to test it, to go back, try to get the TXT file out, then you go back with ChatGPT and do it. Promise me you're going to do this, because again, AI adoption, AI human, it's all fine. Let's adopt AI at the same time. Let's also use Microsoft Teams and Microsoft Word and Microsoft PowerPoint and Excel to the best of our knowledge, because this is a compelling event. That's my position. So again, if you are using Microsoft Teams Premium, again, if you're a self-employed, if you are a small business, I strongly suggest upgrade it to Teams Premium and then wait for the magic to happen. It's a bot that's presenting to you, and it will confirm, hey, this is what I've got. You don't need to even prompt it. This is what I've got for you. This is it. I would love to share our own chats, but I didn't have time to cleanse or shade some of these things. Obviously, in team meeting we talk all random stuff. So for each example, this is how it does. Who does what, and what AI thinks is the important points, right? This is one thing. I strongly suggest you experiment it. Right now, if there is one school of people that you need to be slightly mindful of, is this traditionalist who's just going to come out with their own view of AI versus human, etc. The second people you might need to be wary of is people who are going to come and use this copyright, cybersecurity, plagiarism, and other things. But these guys are not traditionalists. These guys are tech people. They have their own skin in the game because they have their own tools that rely on, and they have invested, they've got on this. And these are the people, what we call language models, that's going to come and tell you X, Y, Z. LLM is a language model. It's a language model, LLM. LLM is a language model. So custom LLMs means a custom language models, because they will say, okay, we have done our own thing. For example, Jasper versus ChatGPT. If you go to Jasper will say our is advanced. Ours is specifically targeted to marketing. So we are going to use it for a specific thing. We are going to use it to understand our blog title. We are going to use it to understand the email subject. We are going to use it for creating SEO keywords and so many other things. It's brilliant, right? So they will say that's the one. That's why you need to come for us. The generic LLMs, or what we call the ChatGPT type, OpenAI types, and this Midjourney types, etc., is readily available. It's either free or it's low cost, $20, $7, $10, something like that. So, but again, what these custom LLMs is will say that what, like your content management systems, now they're going to say, take your content management system, we'll put it in a secure, high security thing. So this is going to be for you. Remember, ChatGPT could be anything, right? It's like a black box. What you prompt it, what you ask it to do is totally you. It's like somebody telling you, you are a proposal manager, I'm a proposal manager, we both are proposal managers, so you're generic. No, you are different to me, even though we have the same job title. The way you process information, the way you start the work, the way you manage people, the way you are going to manage AI is going to be very different. So just to say that it's specific needs, specific requirements, etc., this is where your uniqueness is going to come in the way you treat AI in the same way you treat humans. And then you just get the output and you are just going to do it. You are not going to think in the same way as me, even though I'm telling you this is your framework to follow, right? So again, the second school of thought is these guys are going to come very, very quickly. Like the traditionalists, you're going to come articles after articles thinking, oh, all these things. These guys are going to say, oh, and they're going to find some flaws in doing X, Y, Z. So I'm going to stick with OpenAI. But Jasper is there for more than 2 years, and they are coming up with some advanced tools specifically for marketers. If you're marketers, that's one other thing. Then Content at Scale, which we looked at also last time, it's very, very good for article writing. We use it, one article a day. It's amazing. If you add a keyword to it, it will tell you what could be the best article. It automatically scans through Google and will tell you what's the best article that people are looking for. It will tell you the pain points, the keyword that you want to give, which is your company, your customer. It will tell you what does the customer actually looking for. Then it automatically feeds you. This could be the article you could write. Smart, right? Imagine, that's the content writing at a different level. So, and there are tools, yes, it's specific purposes, but again, they are $99. They're different dollars, So primarily, that's it. So again, beware of these things. Zoom is coming in the game, everybody is doing in the game. But there are a few things. Today, I would like you to take a snapshot of this. As I mentioned, we have nearly close to 30 plus, and today, last week, while I was doing this presentation, we had 11 more, but I'm not going to overwhelm with you. But I just want you to spend an hour or so every week just to be curious like a kid and try to play with it. End of the day, is there anything that can help you to save that 5 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours? This is my gut feeling. Not my gut feeling, this is my advice to you. If you're not spending more than 10 hours in any tool, then don't come and advise people that this is right, this is wrong. I have seen many people trying to have this generic thoughts. Please don't, especially ChatGPT and also Midjourney and also Sonic is another one. There is few more, but I will add it as we go. Experiment these. Use Twain is another one for email specifically. It's amazing. It's free. So experiment. You know what? You might have a good feel for it. Gradually, we'll add video templates. Today, you could write an article. You simply write the article, your old articles. We have close to, between the three companies, we have close to 4,000 blogs. Our team just tested a couple of the tools. You add the article, it automatically makes it as a video. That's it. Nothing required. It's scary. But remember how much time we spend on videos, right? They're very, very smart. They will tell you what to do, and you could refine it. So this is my advice to you for any AI tool going forward. Number one, I just want you to take the tool and dedicate a week at least for one tool and then experiment with it. We have 4 weeks between now and next time. Pick up 2 or 3 tools, 1 week. 100% OpenAI, ChatGPT should be your friend, and you need to spend every day. It should be open next to you. It's $20. It's going to save your life if you go for the plus version. But if you're not the free version, you're at the mercy of when it's available. But that's okay. So these are some of the tools that I suggest. But again, what works for you might work for me, and what worked for me might not work for you. I'm being very open here, but I'm just encouraging you to try this. Please do. Try this, and next week, next time when we meet, I would like you to see how it works. So, traditionalist will sell you this. Again, I just want to debunk, because this is Ask Me Anything, but at the same time, people have asked me a few questions, and I'm noticing a pattern that's emerging. That's why I'm adding all these things. Technology has never saved my time. It's only wasted my time. It's only, I've worked more than what I used to work. It never increased my ability to do more bits. It's never improved my my quality of work. It's never helped me to do any deadlines. I just want to go in the chat box and I just want to get your opinion. Is it technology fault? Is it really technology's fault that we are unable to do all these things? Right? And are we going to do the same thing here for AI as well? Nah, it's not going to help me. Nah, it's not. So I just want to see some comments around this topic. Do you agree with the statement that technology normally doesn't deliver the promise, and that's an overriding statement? At the same time, these are whatever the tools that we are talking about, or the generic tools. I'm not going to talk just about our industry, but in general, it just takes more time of me, etc. I just want to get your honest opinion on this, right? Because it's a black box. It's a black box. Like, it's totally up to us to use it in the way that we want it. It's the same thing here. But this time, the black box also can think to a certain extent. You can make it think. That's what makes it exciting, right? And I disagree totally on this. I'm not going to blame it's technology's fault, but I just want to get your opinion on this, right? Technology is there for us, and there will be school of people who are just going to, they can't confront you, but they are going to fall in the other traps, right? And beware of these people. Beware of these people. And there will be few people who are just going to sit and say, so what are you talking about? So AI is going to write, and AI is going to evaluate, and AI is going to score us. Nobody knows, guys. It's thank you for sharing your comments. It's interesting because this is not the time to speculate the future of bidding, right? There is an opportunity for us to experiment and explore something, and let's just try that. As I told you, if it helps you, it helps you. If it doesn't help you, let's move to the next tool and we'll try that. But let's not come with outright statement, and let's not come predict the future, because you are not technologist, and the technologists are not there. Because if you want to know the real technology, I suggest you go to Singularity University. Singularity University, thank you for all your comments. Singularity University, the future, those guys, I have few friends who work in Singularity University. It's absolutely mind-boggling. They look at 2050, 2100. Those people are looking at the future. Singularity University, where everything comes to single. It's a different concept in itself, and look at that. But otherwise, I'm not going to predict anything. But I don't think anybody can predict. And remember, OpenAI ChatGPT is a beta. It's just a beta. That's not the final product. They are just learning. So that could not. But we are fine-tuning ourselves to learn that. Number one. Here's the second point. Again, Microsoft Teams, I've already covered it. We will be going deeper in the bootcamp as we add more and more prompts to OpenAI, Midjourney, and the relevant tools. We are also going to try to integrate quickly with all these tools. Whether Microsoft does it or not, we can have a ChatGPT version and how we could add this. And we can also have, if Microsoft comes out with Teams, now they have a premium version that helps us to do all these things. What if they do the same thing with SharePoint? What will it happen to this proposal automation tools, right? They have, how are they going to differentiate themselves? Because now they've added tools, but it's just a chat function. It's nothing, but this is going to be totally different. Integrated into Word, so you don't need to search in ChatGPT. You can actually search and do everything in Word. So it's going to come up, but there will be time. We are talking about 3 to 6 months, not more than that. But primarily, Microsoft is integrating with OpenAI, right? Because it's their product, and that's what's the advantage for them. And it's a compelling event. So what we are going to do in the next month or next week, starting 18th, is we'll unlock the full potential of Microsoft 365. I don't know, very little. You can clearly see even in this document, different fonts pop up every time because I still use it. It's my thoughts. But we are going to adopt AI in doing this. So, and that's the point. So we are going to do that. Now, this is another skeptic. We are very busy. Big professionals with timelines tend to stick with familiar technology, tools, and process. We are the last one to adopt technology because we are too busy. How many of you agree with this statement? Right? This is from the traditionalist who don't want to change, but they're generically telling people, you know what? This is it. This is where we are going to have this next category of people. You could be a survivor, but you will end up being an observer, not an accelerator. And I will touch that in the next one, right? So, we could be like, okay, I'm doing that. Be professional with time, because it's very interesting. It's not right or wrong. It's, yes, we have tight timeline, but that's always been there for a long time. Right? It's always been there for the way we manage our time, manage our relationship, manage ourselves with what's been given to us is what dictates our success or not. That's it. So what we have found is AI-powered tools this is an interesting debate, right? I just want to have this conversation going because I know when I open up, there'll be questions, but I'm answering the questions as and when it comes to me and as and when I observe as well. As the deadlines get shorter, we need to know how to work faster and better, 100%. And that's it. Quality is not going to be the big word anymore. It's fast with creativity and strategic insights. That's it. That's how it's going to be. So this is true. I might be running short of time, but let me give you a lot more. So primarily, this is, we all in different countries facing these challenges: economic uncertainty, layoffs, recession, right? And this is the reason why we need to embrace. But we have a different level. The adoption is always going to be different. With massive layoffs, many industries are already looking into this, right? So again, some business leaders are already seeing this and say, hey, you know what can I do to do this? You know, my market is slowing down. My sector is slowing down. Can I, instead of recruiting can I do a recruitment freeze? And can I introduce different types of people to do different types of things? We have received our very first role, and that's the AI-based role. Because if you go to Scribble, there is something called recruit and learn. We call it recruit and lead, where we get people and we train them and mentor them for 3 to 6 months. And because of this AI webinar, a client has told us to find someone with a different skill set. And I'll come back to this. So what's going to happen here is traditional bidders who are going to continue to rely on these models and gradually will update it. There is a big chance you may lose your job in the next 12 to 18 months if you're unable to adapt to it. It's going to be scary, but that's the truth, because this is becoming very, very fast. There is a reason why we're stopping what we're doing and making sound dollars. Now it's not time to observe, it's time to just take action. But don't observe for too long. That's my point here, because you're already facing this. Anybody have faced layoffs, recession, uncertainty, job loss, redundancies in the past year? Anybody? If you are, then the challenge is going to be even more as we go forward. So this is where we ended last time. Anything from here is going to take you to the next level, but it's also going to make you slightly uncomfortable. So are you ready? If you're ready, press 1. If you think I've got enough and I need to go, you press 2, because I don't want to overload you. Only when you say 1, I would just move on, right? Because it's important, because I don't want to be sitting here. We're just going to move from there, right? So let's continue. Thank you. I think most of you have said yes. And I was planning to do that anyway, because even there is one person, we will be doing this for you. So that's it, because that's how excited we are. Number 1, as I told you, the survivors, right? Before we call the survivors and the adventurers. We're slightly changing it to survivors, observers, and accelerators. Survivors are the people who are going to play defense. Oh my God, I escaped. The person on the right, person on the right. I escaped. I'm starting to use it. I'm okay. Looking around, yeah, I'm still okay. But him or her realized it's a massive disruption that's coming, but they are still surviving. Observers are the guys are tactically reacting in the sense like, okay, you know what, I am, whatever others says, plagiarism, cybersecurity, etc. I am going to do this. I'm going to save my time. I'm going to win. But I'm going to tactically, I'm very risk aversive. I'm going to tactically play this. You are survivors, tough. Again, you might have escaped from the lost bidders. Lost bidders, remember, are not even here. We're not even considering them. They are gone. The survivors, it's going to be, you are not going to fall. You are not going to be far behind the lost bidders. The observers are going to find the difficult 2023, the second half, all the way from July all the way to December. Things are going to go very, very quick. You might be thinking, oh, what's he talking about? But believe me, things are going to be very, very quick, right? And but again, this could be maybe early part of 2020. Accelerators are the guys who are going to be top 1%, right? Scott, yes, your name is there. The reason I had Scott's name on the top is, as you know, when we release the bootcamp, there are people who believe in the value that we add, and there are people who question. Scott always finds spelling mistakes in one things, and he knows that I'm not perfect, and we are there. We are learned to learn and share. So we opened our bootcamp without sharing any information, and we just added the waiting list, and then we just opened up, because the bootcamp goes live next week only for 20 people, because what worked for us might not work for others, but we just want to work with 20 different people from different countries to just fine-tune it, adopt their own personality to their own attitude, process this, and tell them it works 1/3 at the cost, 5 times faster for us. It's half of the cost and 3 times faster for Scott and stuff. Scott clicked and bought within 10 minutes when it went live. Scott, thank you for the trust. And we know there are 3 other people who registered, but even if nobody registered, we are going to press ahead and thank you. So that's the reason Scott is there. So thank you, Scott. So some of you, again, we need to adopt. 2 years ago, we launched the online community portal, but for various reasons, we switched. What that means is we are going to come out with lots of webinars and stuff. And I know it's a hard work for you to just, hard work for us as well, to just send you LinkedIn messages and stuff. We are bringing back our Circle platform again. Invite will follow. What that means is, once you are in, we can do some short interventions. It's like up to 100 minutes. We could have interventions within it. So you don't want to have Zoom or anything like that. And we already have doing that for 2 years, but we closed it and we are opening it up again. Invite will follow for you, Baachu Insider in there. And also our self-development journal, which has been done, sold like 1,000 copies from 2016. We'll give you this part of it. We just want you to also capture on a day-to-day basis how this works for you. Right? How this works for you. Thank you, Scott. That's a good comment. So primarily, because this is a change, but nobody is feeling it other than you. And this journal and this journal is a PDF version. We'll be sharing that for free. The published book is available in Amazon, and you could have a printed version. But when you adopt AI, there is a lot more changing in you. And I just want to capture on a day-to-day basis what works, what doesn't work, and this journal will be the best for you. So that's one. And this is the role that we are recruiting today. Proposal prompt engineer. If you want to apply for this role, raise your hand. We can more than happy. It's a global role. We can do that. Guys, this is coming quick. We are recruiting as we speak, right? So primarily what this role goes is, again, it's a talent accelerator is just there, right? So what we are going to go for is primarily, yes, there are proposal writers, there are bid coordinators, there are proposal managers, bid managers, capture, whatever. But then this person is more or less going to be using the AI as a prompts and bringing it all together. I'm not joking, this is real. So because this happened, in the next week, we are launching the Prompt Engineer Foundational Workshop, so we are going to do that. So primarily, I don't know how this role is going to work, but there are people who are accelerating. Believe me, it's not everybody. Some people will be observing. Some are going to do this, and this is it. So this is an outline. We have to work together to understand. And this is this. So again, I forgot to delete this. The code will be removed, but note down this code. Thank you, Scott. Thank you. So this prompt engineering. So Scott and others who have registered for our AI-powered bootcamp, please don't register because this will be included part of this. Any monthly paid workshop for the next 1 year will be totally free for all our AI bootcamp providers as and when we do that. But again, if you're not, then this is it. So this code will be removed. Again, people only for online version, I should have removed this. It's MPE65. Use this code. And from $95, it will be reducing to $30, right? And you can find this in our live workshop. If you search live workshop, you can find it. Mastering prompt engineering, because yes, some of you are doing the prompts, but what's the sustained way of doing it? We are going to look into 30 different prompts across different things, and we are going to do it in the live workshop because I know not everybody will be joining the bootcamp, but at the same time, I don't want you to miss out because I want you to continue to do that. Note down this code. And then go for this. Again, it's my error, and then we just missed it. So this is one. So I'm just leaving it there. So we just want to go low cost programs, and it's a 90-minute workshop. It's not a normal one, 90-minute workshop. So mindset shifts. The people asked again. One of the questions is, Bhaskar, why is it a training, not a training program? You call it mentoring program. If you know, we do the world's largest bid leadership program. Not many people know. For many of the corporates, we take the bid managers, train them or mentor them, have leadership programs to bid directors, and from bid directors to sales directors, or sometimes it moves the other way around. They take operational roles, managing directors, all the way in. So for us to know, we know this is not just technology adoption. There is a mindset shift, and there is going to be a shift in you, and that's why we just want to do that. This is the very first presentation that I did, not personal, but 2016 or 17 in New Orleans. Sell you first. If you have attended this, you would know. So this AI is more or less like that. You should believe in the future self. This is what you are going to be. And then you have to make small adjustments towards your future self from now. Traditional way of working, that is, you have present, then you do a goal setting for the next 3 months, then you do the goal setting for the next 3 months, next year, and you move on. That's incremental. We are in a way of transformational. Transformational cannot be achieved by training. That's why the top, in the boot camp, we just need to open up, because this is not just going to be just technology. This is going to be about your ability to manage your relationship, your own mind, and also your time, plus AI, plus best practices, plus anything and everything, right? So that's the important one, which I need to land. So now, anything more, the heat will be a little bit more. Are you okay for me to continue? Because it's important. This again was the plan from the sell you first thing. This is the first thing I say. If you follow the herd, you will end up stepping in the shit, because there is no other role, and there'll be a lot of people who will be playing the inertia game with you. This is what it takes. But I just want you to get it, because again, we have changed the 6 weeks into 8 weeks now, and we are just going to move from. And I'm going to share that. I'm going to share that to you. And it's been shaped by few people within the team, and it will also be shaped by the attendees. We have a curriculum, we have few things, but now the cruise ship is getting ready. So this is my point. The debate between AI enthusiasts and skeptics will continue. Let them survive and talk about it in front of the tsunami, but we need to take off. We would, at the same time, we don't want to cut through the speculation, but we just want to focus on with what we have. You all use Microsoft products or Google products, that's fine. And you all are doing tenders with what we have. How can we adopt Microsoft products at the same time, leverage with open AI tools and low-cost tools? So I don't want you to subscribe to anything. Yes, it's $20, $99, etc. That's enough. But if it saves you, imagine if you could cut out 20% of your time, how much that will be worth. That's the thing that we are going to go. So the plan is just to go for 30 plus AI backed or proposal, bid and proposal. We have all the interventions. Like you, we have done all these things. And you might have a bottleneck on certain elements, which means in the program, it might not be even part of the program. We will add it and fix it for you. So it means that, okay, that's always been my bottleneck. Now I know how to crack that. I don't know that. That's where we want the 20 adopters. But at the same time, we already spend a lot of things. So now, if you are ready, let me go ahead and share that with you. So what happens here is this. You might not be ready for the first cohort. The second cohort might happen June, July, but at the moment, the first cohort is happening, which is this week, next week, Friday, right? Regardless whether you're going to join that or not, I just want you to go and join the waiting list. What that means is, if we know you are still observing and you would like to get on with the observing into accelerating in 3 months, 4 months time, we know you're already in, and we know we can look after you on this. That's the thing. So we will close it because the program starts on Friday. But for now, this is the link. It's AI powered bidder. If you search AI powered bidder, you are going to get in this thing, and we'll close the waiting list, just so that I know you are interested in this, right? You're not coming just for the AMA sessions. You genuinely want to have the nudge to make this happen. At the moment, this is our thought process. So it's going to happen from 17th of March all the way to 15th of May. So, and kickoff will be on the 17th, where we'll be setting few things, and you'll be going from there. Again, when I say 20th and 23rd, it means it's a 90-minute session. If possible, there will also be 30-minute Q&A, depending on, because I have overloaded it, I know 100%. Because I just want to break down. I don't want any part of the proposal, bid lifecycle journey, which I shared with you, pre-proposal, during proposal, development, post-proposal. Everything could be benefited by AI. It's the end of the day, just a task. End of the day, we have to deliver the task. What is it we could do? And we have done it. But again, what we are going to do is not going to be useful for you, but we are going to share what we have done, and you're going to bring in your own bid, and we are going to work through that. Whether you want to bring a live bid or not, it's different. Bring a past bid, old bid, last year's bid, anonymous bid, anything, but we are going to test out every single thing. right? I know not the Q&A and everything will be recorded. Every single thing will be recorded. And I know the timing might not work. For some of you, it's late night, but for some of you, it's fasting. I feel sorry for my Asia Pacific colleagues. This is midnight for you. Recording will be there. You can catch up with the recording, and it happens Monday and Thursday. We're going to look out bottle by bottle, and we are going to break it down, right? This is it. And at the end of the day, there'll be 20 AI-powered bidders officially certified by us, and you will be the first 20 AI-powered bidders that's going to go in. And that's important for us because, we are learning partners with over 30 companies. At the same time, we have, you might have seen the previous things. We do have, different people use it differently. And we just want to have our vision to get 1,000 of them in the next 3 years. And I'm sure the observers and the survivors at some point will come in. But accelerators, we just need to accelerate because at this stage, I can only sow the seed. I'm not expecting everybody to be part of this. You can sow the seed, then you go and sow your own seed and it comes on. It's learn and we share. So that's where we are. So, and we have a plan for the June one, but it won't be as comprehensive as this because we'll be breaking it down. We'll be breaking it down into 4 weeks, and we might also see what it takes because we have other things to do. But for now, this is where we stand. We have broken out into 2 parts. And again, there's a lot of effort has gone in, as you can see, 30 plus hours of content recorded. There's also productivity tips of 15 plus. Plus, you can ask me what to do, and we will fix it within the team and say, this is how we can do. All these things will be valuable. Money should not be an issue, as we always say. So you can go for one-off payment. We have India emerging economies, and we also have this. You could split it up by monthly. You could split it up over 3 months, which means you can join in, finish the program in 2 months. Then you cancel your last month payment and say bye-bye to me and save the last monthly payment. I'm not going to be offended. I'll be happy that you have joined the program and you are doing. I know you won't do that to me, but I trust you. At the same time, it's a one-off thing, and we have even sliced it. End of the day, as you can see here, with the amount of effort that we put in, we're not going to make much or anything out of it, but we just want to declutter the few stuff for you. So that's it. And again, there is a 30-day guarantee, which means you start the first month and then say, Bhaskar, I know it's going to be too much because there'll be a lot of content for you. There'll be a lot of content for you. You might not be able to catch up with it, but there is a lifetime access and you can always come back to it. Even if you pick up one thing that's going to help you to save X amount of time, one tip that's been giving you a headache for a long time, that's a benefit for you, right? But 30 days time, you just realize, nah, I am not happy with this. Give my money back. We will give you the money back. That's it. Go from here. So that's it. That's where we are going in. So money should not be an issue. And primarily, this is it. Do we have all the answers today? No, we don't. But have we tried? Yes, we have tried extensively. So this is our thing that's going to help you 5x faster. But again, traditionalists will come and say, that's a lie. How has it been possible? It's fine. If we can declutter 10 hours of you every week, that's going to make you fast. If we can help you to run your kickoff meeting in a productive way, if you can make governance review, proposal reviews, scheduling, SME sessions, we are going to look at every single thing that's there. So it's just all there. And I've already covered why it's mentoring. But again, it's not going to be like that. We are going to use our process. We are going to use our frameworks. We'll be giving you templates, and we'll also be giving you prompts. So that means there is no excuse. You are going to move forward, and we are going to do this together. So, and then, as I told you, recording sessions will be there, lifetime access. Then we are going to relaunch our circle community. This is just for you, 20 people. And even if there is 3 people, we already got 3 people, and we are going to go with the 3. And if nobody turns up, we are just going to go with the 3 anyway. So this is it. This is what we have done. And we are going to wait until Wednesday or whichever the first 20 people. And I haven't posted yet in public or social media yet, but I just want to give the chance to the waiting list people. We'll send them a nudge today. And tomorrow we will launch to the public, So because there is payment options, there is this, that's fine. If you want to pay over 4 months, 5 months, fine. Right? I'm not going to make a millionaire out of this course. I just want you to move on and do what it takes, right? So that's the one. I'm not sure whether you have a story. I'll tell you the story at the very end. So let me move on. And all these things are from my Sell You First here. It's just going to be there. And at the very end, even if you're not doing it, just register for the waiting list so that we know that you're interested. And if you do have the second workshop, because I'm sure there'll be a lot of teething issues, a lot of interesting problems that will be coming out from the first workshop. And we may decide to just carve that into 6-month program. Or we may carve that into specifically 10 different sessions or something. We don't know. But the first one, you are going to play with it. So is the point. And then finally, if I have a story, I'll tell you the story. So number one, the part of this AMA is to ask questions, right? And some of the questions are already answered. If there is any questions, please do ask me the question. It's important. Second one is prompt engineer is going to come in, and please do register. As you know, the web, if you have noted down, the recording will be going up, and click the recording before anybody else does it. Note down the payment code, join the prompt engineering. If you are not joining the bootcamp, fine, join the prompt engineering workshop. Register for this. You are courageous than what you think, right? But don't be falling in the footsteps of the bid survivors and the bid observers, because yes, their livelihood are disturbed, they're disrupted. So they are going to sit and sweat on this as much as they can, talking about the same things that they have been talking about for 30 years. Nothing has changed. But today we can optimize, today we can change, and the world is moving forward. And for me, this sessions is all about this, to nudge you towards becoming adventurous and brave in a safe environment. It's not like an open air, go by, fall from the top. It's not like that. It's something. So that's it. So all the details are in the live workshop, right? Otherwise, I'm going to see you on the 13th before I tell you the story. 13th is the next one, and we are going to start, and we are going to do the restart. Story goes like this. A person walks, and he always have conversations with nature. And every time he walks on the beach, there are 4 footsteps. One is, or let's say 2 footsteps. One is the person himself, and the second one is the nature. He talks to the nature, shares all the problem, and the nature listens to, and nature responds to his problems, and then they're just collectively going together, and he was happy. And suddenly the nature stopped responding to him, and he started to face some big issues. Him or her, in this case, let's be him. He started to share, and he was struggling. He was really upset with the nature. He was telling nature, you were walking with me all the time, but now I need you. You are not there with me. And he just asked, shouted, did whatever he can. Then he went on. And then he realized, then he went on, and then he was able to go through his own personal barriers, broke his personal barriers, fight for it, and he went on. And then he made it. Suddenly the nature came. Nature told. Then he was so upset. You were there when times were good, but you were not there with me when the times were bad. Now see, there are 2 steps with you. Nature smiled and told him, when times were good, I was walking next to you. When times were bad, I was walking within you. So it's no more 2 steps, it's 1 step. And today I've helped you to achieve. And because you moved on, you did it. Now I'm walking alongside you. And that's the power of nature. And that's the power of our decisions as well. Sometimes we might think of, there's nobody who listens to us. It's hard work. So leave it to the nature. Tell nature, it will fall in place. And the questions is going to come in. And let me answer the questions. Otherwise, I will see you at the 29th prompt session, or April 13th, or in the bootcamp. Details to follow. And if you have registered for the waiting list, we'll share more information in the bootcamp. Otherwise, all the very best, and look after yourself, and I'll see you. But the question is, has the bootcamp considered making arrangement for paid tools use reference to be available for attendees for a limited time without fee? Again, the volume of people who are going to do is very less here. Scott, it's 20 people we're talking about. When we have 1,000 people, we can obviously negotiate with Jasper and OpenAI and others, etc. But considering, it's 10 or 20, I'm sure you are going to create a moment, and we are all going to create a moment at that point of negotiation. But we're talking $20, $19 extra. I know that's a little bit top on what we discussed, but we will ensure he doesn't cross it. That's it. And us, we are not going to come and tell you pay another $1,000 or something. Anything that we won't buy, we won't make you buy. And anything that we bought that you can use it, we will share that with you, right? That's it. So I will wish you all the very best, and thank you for joining, and continue to adopt, continue to learn, and I'll see you 29th or 13th of April or Friday for the bootcamp. Any other questions from anybody, I'm here to answer.